I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino, Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland a big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
May we come to you, Drifters, on Oaks Day. And typically we do probably a little bit of a preview for the Oaks, but not this year.
No, not this year.
And so much so that the Oaks is 1 minute and 50 seconds away from actually being run and won. So talk us through your selection, mate. Who you got on top?
Oh, look, I think Get a Good Feeling, the favourite, probably wins. But, you know, backing a thing in an Oaks at $1.80 isn't too exciting at all, is it?
No.
It's actually kind of lame. So, look, I've ended up having something at a much bigger price than what it is now. On number 7, Strictly Business, it's getting pumped into the $7 and $8 mark, which I think a bit too short. But hey, I thought it finished off really nicely behind Get a Good Feeling in the Wakefall, stepping up from 1,400 metres at 2,000 metres, only his third ever start. So maybe it's just a really good horse.
Maybe.
And I'm happy to find out at the $12 I got for it. So what about you?
Mate, exact same, but, you know, there's favourite bash and then there's favourite bashing. This is not a favourite I want to bash.
No.
So I've gone the Pearls at $9 there or thereabouts on my Ned's profile that you can look back on, and they'll either be in the green or they'll be in nothing. So, but as the Oaks will take about, I don't know, 2.5 minutes to be run and one anyway. So we should be kick off by talking about one thing that we actually forgot to talk about last Sunday. Was our old mate Counter winning at in the city in Brisbane at $8. But not only that, mate, there was a fucking RaceNet article about it.
No.
What are you talking
Just
about?
to really rub it in. Oh, I didn't have a cent on, obviously. But he goes around in a 2,400 metre race at Deagle Farm and absolutely brains them. Puts them to the sword.
But he had that in him.
He had that in him.
Well, not he has that in him. Had that in him because, you know, as I kind of was saying over text message, like it's like watching your ex do better and thrive when you're not together, and it's like, why can't you just do that with me?
Why couldn't you have been that version of yourself with me? I did laugh a lot when you sent that through because I was like, I couldn't define this feeling any better. I couldn't define it any better.
It's good to see him doing well, but I'm like, oh, fuck.
POAH, prick of a horse. Really is. And, yeah, but, you know, congratulations to the connections, I guess.
Well, let's put it this way. The $10 I would have had on at 8s if I did have a bet wouldn't have covered the fee for actually buying them in the first place.
No, yeah, exactly. You just got to laugh. You know, it's. I've heard worse racing stories like, you know, having 50% ownership in a horse that sells for $300,000 and you're the underbidder and ends up winning the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Knocking off one of yours into third, I would imagine.
Not into third. Actually, yes.
Yeah.
The horse that trained, the thing that ran third.
Yeah.
The trainer owned 50% of half yours. So
Yeah, right.
Did.
Interesting. Yeah, fascinating. And Get a Good Feeling's a bit agitated here behind the barriers. Jockey's off. Get her to calm down a bit.
Ooh, Mark.
She needs to settle over 2,500 metres. Is she vulnerable?
The daughter of So You Think.
Ah.
Look, you know.
So she's gone riderless in. So, you know.
You can have her.
We'll continue to monitor that situation. The Cup. So, our most listened to podcast of the year, which is shrouded in controversy. because of one of the hosts of this podcast, sensationally, being interviewed by the legacy media.
Two of them. Two of them.
Explain yourself.
Oh, look, at the end of the day, whatever I say, if you've got a bee in your bonnet about me clearly having a bigger go on the horse that I backed to run second on the podcast, then nothing I say is going to resolve that. But I think after the Oaks, we'll explain the blow by blow in my thinking, which led to a change in the betting strat.
Well, I think there was actually a lot that we said on that podcast that eventuated, right?
Yes.
So I'm talking weather. So soft 6 into a soft 5 range by the Cup. I was saying that the rain bomb was fake news.
You weren't a fan of the rain bomb,
No.
were you?
What else? I said that Presage Nocturne would start favourite. Started $6.
Yeah.
It was the horse that I thought was over the odds in the early markets, and we proved to be right there. Things I got wrong was half yours not running out the trip. You ran out easy.
Yeah. Look, I think the biggest thing for me, right, for the Cup was price. And I said, if half yours gets at $10, I'll have a good bet. I did say that on the podcast. And I was going to probably have equal stakes on him and Presage.
It's the Melbourne Cup. You can have one more than one bet. I encourage you to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But your boy, and ask the people who I was with on Cup Day, didn't have a bet on the Cup, not a single one, until probably about 20 minutes before the race. I started actually looking at, okay, well, how do I want to play this? And then it was about 10 minutes to go, and Presage Nocturne was absolutely jammed in.
Yeah, that at $6 is too short.
Yeah, so I was like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bet on him to cover all my other bets if he wins, because, I was having trifectas, first fours. First four would have got up if I put Goody Two Shoes in it, but that's another story.
Classic.
That's it. That's literally everyone on Melbourne Cup Day. Geez, they've slowed this right down, haven't they?
Yeah, so they're going 1 second outside of standard at the 800-metre mark. I do like this camera angle that they have.
Yeah,
from the blimp, I'd imagine. Get a Good Feeling is tracking into this really nicely. This is like Maccabi Davis Cox Plate.
Yep.
Look at the Pearls come into it.
The Pearls.
Go the Pearls. Is she going to Get a Good Feeling is just being asked for the question now. The Pearls is the one, and is that your thing?
It is, on the outside
as well. Get a Good Feeling is the one they need to beat. The Pearls is digging in here.
Go Strictly. Go Strictly.
I think it's... Wow.
Oh, she's ended up braining him as well. Oh, man, what a win.
Team Green should have done that for Get a Good Feeling.
Oh, she's won by about 3 lengths with dog shit Johnny on.
Oh.
D.S. John. D.S. John. D.S. John.
He's back.
Oh,
so we've run
man.
1-2 there at a price.
We have.
Taken on the favourite.
Yeah, let's just bask in that glory for a second.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that you just continue to win.
Mate, it's been probably my best Cup week, hands down, easily. And I've had some good derby days, as you know.
Yes.
But as a collective. Okay, so controversy, let's get that out of the way. So the strategy ended up being, I was like, well, half yours, he's not $10, but he's $9. And I like Presage Nocturne because, look, was I a little bit freaked out by the rain bomb? Did I read into the fake news? Yes, I read into the fake news. And I was like, this thing's just going to lap up the wet deck.
Yum.
And yet, I know by all reports that half yours is a wet tracker, and absolutely, I'm still keen on him. But I thought at the time he was a bit short at about the $6-7 mark.
Yep.
But on the day, he gets out to 9s, and I was swept up also in the story of it. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? Mm-hmm. Half yours, only Australian bred horse in the race. Cup's double. Jamie Mellum used to be owned by Cole McKenna. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a good bet, which I did, and it duly saluted. And I was swamped by the media afterwards. Clearly, they recognise our faces from the podcast. Clearly. No, more so. They just saw our table all day carrying on like pork chops right out the front of members at Eagle Farm.
Bang.
And then they see me after the race carrying on like I just dunked on someone, like sort of flex. And it's like, oh! Drifters, what you got to understand is like the two of us love horse racing. It's our favourite sport, right? Mm-hmm. And the number one race in the sport for us is the Melbourne Cup. Like, really. The Cox Plate is my favourite race, but the number one race you want to win is the Melbourne Cup.
More than 5 times the amount of turnover than any other race in the calendar.
Which is insane.
Yeah. That's with the Everest.
Yeah, that's with the Everest, so shui.
Yeah.
And I hadn't picked a winner since 2018. I think I had 3 second placings, so I was just ecstatic to pick a winner.
Yep.
And the only thing in the back of my mind I was thinking afterwards, after everything had settled down, was, fuck, I've just been on national television and I've been carrying on like a pork chop saying that I've backed the Cup winner. I'm one of the few guys who would have been interviewed by the news today, or who'd be on national television today, who has a podcast where I've actually said that thing's not going to win.
No, you said that half of yours would win. Like, you said it would be a chance. It was like your second selection. So
Yeah.
I said it wouldn't win. So if anything, it actually reflects more poorly on me.
So, yeah, like it is what it is. Like, say what you like. I apologise if you followed me into Presage Nocturne and you didn't have anything on half yours and you're a bit disappointed. But I do apologise, but I'm just ecstatic. I can say that I've picked a Cup winner. And you know what? What a good Cup winner.
Yeah, mate, he was sensational.
He was sensational, and the ride was sensational by Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's found her mojo back, hasn't she? At the 300, there was a slight gap that appeared, and she went, yep, thanks.
Yep.
Horse wanted to take it too. So he was super. I feel like I got the price right about him too, because I said he wouldn't get to double figures because of Jamie as well.
Yeah.
And I think he would have nearly been the bookie's worst way.
Yeah, I think so. They would have hated that. The bookies, half yours.
They would have been licking their lips even, wearing Goody Two Shoes, but just loomed up and went, hey, bruh, how are ya?
Oh, and it's funny when you don't have like when you're not by yourself watching it on TV, you can't really keep an eye on everything, and you can't do that at the best of times, right? Particularly if you've got like a decent bet on something.
Particularly in a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, so it's actually when you see Goody Two Shoes and then you hear Middle Earth, and I'm like, well, my boss owns that horse. Like, if he wins, I'm ecstatic. Also had, a place bet on Middle Earth. At sevens, please. the fill-up continues. And then you see half yours come, like, but sort of out of nowhere. I lost sight of him.
Yeah.
But watching the aerial view, what a gutsy ride!
Oh yeah,
like the heavens opened a little bit for him, but she had to take the chance, Jamie.
Absolutely.
And also, like, the horse had to be daring enough to take the chance. So, no, the pair of them deserve it. It was a phenomenal win. Phenomenal win.
Yeah. Looking down the field here, Goody Two Shoes, sure. If you found that horse at 41, congratulations. Middle Earth, I was hard against, and he ran super. River of Stars, we gave a top 4 chance to, ran top 4. Torrenzino is winning a Brisbane Cup.
Yeah.
That horse has been trained wrong his entire career. He's a stayer.
Yeah.
He's an elite. He's an elite stayer.
Yeah.
Like, he from barrier 18, if he gets he improves like half the distance, I reckon, that he's been beaten. I reckon he runs near top 4.
Yeah.
If he draws a gate, that horse. So I think he's really up to any of our staying contests, and I reckon he'll even be suited better, as he's proven, if it's run at a decent clip.
Yeah, he's a genuine stayer.
Yeah. So I think we've found one there that I'm just going to cling on to for dear life. There's a Sydney Cup or a Brisbane Cup.
A Legron 2.0.
Or an Adelaide Cup in this horse's future, I'm convinced of.
Well, how old is he? Is he 5, maybe?
He's a 6-year-old gelding.
Okay, so he's still got another, good 12 to 2 years of...
Yep.
12 months at 2 years of racing left in him.
Vauban, if the Rainbow did come, I reckon he would have finished closer as well. He ran super into 6th. Al Riffa with the top weight from that far back ran well. Absurd won't be coming back. Change of the guard was pretty brave out in front from that wide gate as well. And then Maidan finishing in the top 10. The others,
Yeah.
yeah, like including Presage Nocturne. And what I'm gonna etch this into my mind for future thinking. How many internationals that aren't fresh off the boat actually do something in a Melbourne Cup?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's like they have to be their first run almost. I feel like their first run in Australia, they do something. Goody Two Shoes did something, for instance, where if they have that prep run, they're probably just not as fresh. I don't know. Richo from Racing.com and Channel 7 has that theory.
Yeah. Do you know what? Since they've changed the vet protocols, I think the internationals have taken a massive impact.
Yeah.
And look, I think, we saw a terrible fall on the day with Blakey Bill, breaking his leg, and glad he's okay, glad the horse is okay as well. But since those vet protocols have come through, there hasn't been an international winner. And even if you look back towards 2019, 2018 was cross counter, Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old, they were so well weighed, and that's changed now. I think they've got another 2 kilos than what they did back then. And then you've got Van de Clare, Australian trained horse, Australian bred. 2020 Twilight Payment. So was that the first year they did the protocols, or was that the year before?
Maybe the year before.
I think it was the year before. Because maybe Anthony Van Dyke was in that race with Twilight Payment.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's like that.
So I think that was the
line in the sand sort of stuff. It's like this has to stop.
Yeah.
Has to. And it's the right call.
Yeah, it is. It is. When Sir Delius and the likes, when they get ruled out because of it, it sucks. But I'd much rather him get ruled out than,
And you can actually see the compounding impact that, 5 or so straight cups with no fatalities in it. The compounding interest of that, the virtue signalers of the nups to the cups, they're getting quieter.
Yeah.
Especially because there's more advocates actually understanding how well kept after the thoroughbred is.
Absolutely. And yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I also think that there's just a bit more clarity around what is actually required to get a horse racing, and how and how, what the screen actually looks for, and there's so many elements to getting a horse healthy, right? So the clarity that's available for that too is the vets are explaining what they're doing. So this is why, this is why it's a potential issue, which is good. But anyway, you go from Twilight Payment, you go to 2021, which was very elegant, Gold Trip, without a fight. Last year, obviously, Knight's Choice Australian bred horse, and now we've got Half Yours. So, yeah, some of these horses have been procured overseas and have been brought here, but they've had a prep. So I think what I'm learning is respect the internationals, absolutely, but if there's a few good horses here, then who've had a prep and they're building towards it, even if they're at a bigger prices, you probably need to respect them all, if anything else.
Yeah.
Middle Earth, he's run a blind, even though his form was whatever. Torrenzino, Half Yours, That's what I think.
Yeah. No. River of Stars was a price.
Yeah.
She had the miles in her legs. She proved that she could run the distance as well. But Half Yours, the up-and-coming stayer, got the JD. What I will say, actually, not ideal that Half Yours had some claret in the mouth when they were interviewing Jamie on horseback. When Billy was like, Jamie, how do you feel?
He's great, isn't he?
Yeah. You've done it for Queensland. No, she hasn't, Billy. But not ideal that Half Yours had some blood in the mouth. But I heard a really good analogy. It's like if you were eating dinner and you bit the inside of your cheek, would you retire from eating dinner?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't, mate. And
it was a superficial. He bit his cheek, obviously on the bigger stage. It's not ideal.
It's not ideal, mate.
But
it's just not.
Superficial, the horse is completely fine.
Yeah, which is the main thing. And, meanwhile, you've got the nut to the cup types probably praying that it was actually something worse so they could have something more justified to be upset about. But hey, if they want to get up and about for 1 year and be social justice warriors, go have fun. Go have fun doing that in your dark room, hating yourself. We'll be at the track, living it up, loving the horse.
Yep.
That's what we'll be doing.
Yep. Supporting one of the biggest industries that employs people in the country, I would have thought. So,
That's what we'll be doing.
Yep. All your blue-head lefties. I would have thought that you feel like didn't just, live in Melbourne either. I imagine you would have had a bet on Gringotts.
Yeah, your boy had a good bet on Gringotts. your boy had a good bet on Gringotts. It's been an astronomical run. Yep.
Nice. All right, let's get the Sydney Dross out of the way here. Let's go to Rose Hill for this Saturday's racing. Currently rated good 4. I believe, let me double check. I believe the weather was looking okay, potentially some rain on the Saturday, but tops of 33 degrees, potentially a storm early in the day, 0 to 4 mil. Check your local guides on the day to see if that eventuates. So I'd say we'd be playing a good track, round the true. So everything should get their fair chance. Speed in the race for the Hot Danish, I believe. Belclair won this for Bjorn last year.
That's right.
Against a very short price favourite for Grainbeg, which was Magic Time. Samira Rose, short price favourite for Grainbeg again this year. She might be on an island by herself out in front here. Speed, I don't think there's a ton of speed. Mr. Rombini goes forward, sure, but Miraval Rose is a different horse on a good track. I think she's going to be awfully hard to beat with hot Nash on board.
Nash is pretty hot. And what have we said about him this spring thus far? He's leading. He's leading well. He's rating them so well, as good as he ever has. And that's what Miraval Rose is. So, I don't know. Mr. Mbini, bit of a pretender for mine. Miraval Rose, happy to be with. She's been phenomenal this prep. And I found her, and then I jumped off when a bounding one, and I'm going to jump back on her. That's just the streak.
Let's quickly touch on the 5 Diamonds. Probably the race that we hate most on the calendar. There or thereabouts, I reckon.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. What do you hate more, this or the Golden Eagle?
This.
Yeah.
Easily, because the Golden Eagle, to be fair, is of a high quality.
And it has Japanese runners coming into it.
Yeah.
Lake Forest won it. Obam Burumaya, one of the great named horses.
And it's a form race, not just here, internationally.
Absolutely. So, I reckon Antino went down as about $2 favourite in this race one year.
He sure did.
Yeah, so do you reckon something similar for his stablemate Transatlantic will happen here?
Yeah, I don't want to be with him, no.
Yeah, $2.90?
$2.90 from a wide draw.
I reckon that's backable still.
Yeah. I think you'll get a better price on the day, if I'm honest. Because if you look at his last start, they just gifted him that in the prelude. He had the lead easily, and he just pounded them into the earth and made it too hard.
Drew Barry 3.
Drew Gate 3 as well. There you go. Can he win? Absolutely. I feel like Tony would need to get him to peak again. I don't know. I'm sort of looking at some value around him. The William Haggis horse is interesting. Number 3, Bullet Point. Do you know much about it at all?
I don't, mate. Sorry. I can't really help you.
That's okay.
I know he's competed at Group 3 level once for not placing, so he's an up-and-coming international going through the grades.
Yeah. So he's an interesting one. I'll have to have a closer look at. How about Vivier on the quick backup?
Yeah, potentially. I thought the stablemate would be featuring more, and it's more than double the price. Lou, I think this is a progressive middle distance horse. This 53 kilos in the big dance, had 53 kilos there. Ran third, being beaten 2 lengths there. It was 7 weeks between runs, and he was a sensational win in the Tongue Curry Cup prior to that. But I think this horse is progressive. I think he will probably be making the transition transition. He'll be going through the grades, probably, I reckon, to a race like the Epsom this time next year, where that race is falling apart a little bit.
Yeah.
I reckon that's on this horse's radar, I reckon.
Yeah, fair enough. Rise of Dawn, do you forgive from last start?
I had that in my notes.
Nash, Gate 1.
If this horse wins, I'll throw up. Like, that's where I'm at. It's just like, I can't possibly back him because I think he's actually been quite disappointing this prep. So, yeah, risking him. I keep coming back to Transatlantic. Like, if I wanted to have a 1x3, it'd be on Lou.
Yep, fair enough.
Better draw.
Fair enough.
So, I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Let's get the dross out of the way. All right. A couple of breaking news stories. Private Harry is now being trained by Chris Waller. Any surprises there?
No, it was $1. If Treasure fails this race on the weekend, she might end up being in the same stable.
And Zardozi has been retired. Another $1.02.
Yeah, she looked like she just lost the zest for racing. And,
which mares can do.
Yep. She was a great mare. She was another Oaks winner for me. Picked the last, 6 now, I think. So
Someone stop him. Someone stop him.
Some races you just have a mortgage on, and others you fail to pick a winner in like your lifetime. Like, I don't know, the Slipper. Terrible 2-year-olds.
Yeah, see, I've got a mortgage on that race.
Yeah.
Jeez, just updated the weather forecast. It is getting biblical at Flemington on Saturday. So, I don't think, from what I saw, I think they were waiting to see what happened here because the rail was out 6 metres, I think, for Oaks Day. So, I don't think they have the rail position yet, but I'd say it'd be 9 metres plus. Updated forecast as I just update the bomb, 0 to 7 mil tomorrow being Friday, and then 10 to 30 mil, becoming windy on Saturday. Fuck. So the winds are southwesterly, 25 to 40 kilometres an hour, tending southerly, 30 to 45 k's in the early afternoon. So you might go, hey, brah, what do southerly winds do? Well, from the 1,400 metre chute, if they're southwesterly, it's basically a tailwind. So being on pace, not the worst place to be. So think of it coming, if you're watching it, it's basically coming from the other side of the track, basically towards like the straight racing start, basically, towards the grandstand.
Yep.
That's essentially where the wind will go. So we've seen that basically the Derby Day wind from 2 years ago where Pride Jenny led and then again for Champions Day. So very similar wind. But, and it also is probably a disadvantage to draw on the fence. So if you are in particular for straight racing. So I would downgrade low draws on the fence. I want to draw middle to outside, have some cover.
Yep.
Get the last crack at it. Let's say no disadvantage to be off speed, especially with the wet ground as well. I think at the best times it makes it hard to make ground right. So I'm discounting back markers and inside draws for the inside racing, basically. The straight racing, rather. Okay, so race 5, the Chest of a Manifold. Oh, wait, that was run today. I was really hoping that was actually going to be run today on Saturday because El Rocco would have been immoral in that, in the wet. Anyway, the Fisher Stakes. I'm losing it, bruh. Listed open handicap over 1,200 metres. I think the speed is drawn low here. Front Page and Clabell from down low likely will go forward. 5 Star will take a sit off him and then stay focused next in line. But I don't think all the pace here is drawn low. I'm keen to hear your thoughts.
There's a fella here who's just been doing a rain dance for what feels like 3 years. That's number 2, Nadal. Gate 12, Ethan Brown. This is it. I feel like he's just going to explode second up, and he's $10 with the good people at Ned's. Tad disappointing first up, absolutely. He's got to carry some weight, absolutely. He was good late, and he was entitled, I think, to take a while to wind up.
Well, mate, he got scratched again today. So, he's been scratched about 4 times waiting for the right track.
Yeah. So, yes, Nadal at that price. Keen to have a bet just on the hope that he's going to explode second up, and he just needs a bit of wet going, and he's drawn well.
Yep. So, I'm keen on my old mate who's become a lot more genuine here, and that is King Aruso. He'll be jumping from barrier 5 as 5-star is scratched. So not the best draw, but I think that's wide enough for him to get some cover. He sits about midfield anyway. So Mickey D's very wily. So I reckon he'll just go, hey, bro, get into the right lane. Get in the right lane, get some cover. And this horse, mate, he's gone for how many in a row? 4 in a row. Cut out of the ground will be to his liking as well. Keen, $8.50, King Russo.
That's a Quincy right there for you drifters.
Yep. Let's remember to put that on. The Matriarch, the Ned's Matriarch, 2,000 metres, Group 2 for the Meds at set weights and penalties. Last winners, 5 winners. Hinged won this race last year. For all you fucking sickos out there. I think it was her first win in 32 starts, there or thereabouts. Deny Knowledge. A Tissue, Zaydani, one of my favourites back in the day, and Affair to Remember. So I thought Sunset Park will probably lead this field up with Jenny Lala. And then I thought there was a bit of a supporting cast here with Al Kance. She's a hustler, and See What I See, taking up the supporting cast here as well. I thought Al Kance was a really interesting runner here. Like, for what she did in the Auden, she was really disappointing in the Wyong Cup, and she was $4 out to $6.50. Market spat her out. Been freshened up, 2 really average trials since. I really don't know what to do with her.
I don't know what to do with her either, but I like the setup. I really like the setup. I like the 2,000 metres. She'll roll forward on a wet track against the mares. She's got to carry top weight, so that's a concern. But she's $7, so it's not like you're being asked to take $3 or $4 to find out. But I do admit that she's a hustler. 5-year-old mare, lightly raced, hasn't finished outside the Quinella so far in her career, but yet to see a genuinely heavy deck, but she has won in the wet. Drawn well. $2.50 is pretty short.
The daughter of Ace High, who famously hated even looking at wet ground. He despised it. Yeah,
he hated it. There's some queries in this race, but I'm just going to wait and see what the track's doing before I have a bet. I'm a fan of See What I See as well, but I feel like she would prefer a good deck. I also think she's one who just finds one better most of the time, or a few better. So, LL Kance and She's a Hustler are the two that I'm sort of looking at.
Yeah. If I was to put you into a roughie who I think from a better draw, again, Mickey D on board, and it's probably one of the best wet trackers in this field, that is at a huge price, Good Banter. Put it this way, she ain't starting $46 on the day. If it gets into the heavy range, she absolutely laps it up. So, and it might just be a war of attrition. Good horse. Good banter potentially, but not really a race I'm that interested to play in. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes, 2,600 metres, Group 3 handicap. Speed in the race here, likely to be Saturday. Siddharthi, Naval College going forward. Braden Star of India, looking for a position after them as well. I really wanted to find our guy Scary here. Now, I think I've said this about this race in particular, where it's advantage to be on speed and what have you. For staying races, I think it's just who can run it out. And it's especially in these testing conditions, his soft track runs have been prep runs. I don't think he's raced further than 2,000 metres on rain-affected ground, and his daddy loved it.
Shocking loved it.
So,
and he's danced by Reliable Man. Reliable Man loved it as well. He was a grey horse.
So this horse could actually jump out of the ground at this distance. I don't know what to do with him.
I feel like I just need to keep backing him. I just feel like it's just one of those ones. If he wins and I'm not on at anything more than $10, I'll just vomit and collapse on the floor and cease to exist and stop punting. But
I think we've found the same horse here.
Do you reckon?
Big track horse, big boy.
Berkeley Square.
Yeah, we backed him in this race last year.
We did. And I backed him last start against Torrenzino.
I know, and I think that form's really good.
I think it is good form.
Yep.
He's a big track horse. I think he's probably a little bit of a similar story to Torrenzino, where I think Berkeley Square, he's a 6-year-old gelding now. I think he spent the first 2 years of his racing life with his trainer convinced he was a miler to a 2,000-metre horse. Maybe this is a horse who just wants more ground. It's by Territories, who could run a distance, and he's danced by Teofilo, the sire of Without a Fight, the sire of Gold Trip, I'm pretty sure. No, not Gold Trip, but definitely Without a Fight. And also the sire of St. Jean, who is the sire of Half Yours. So he's got genuine staying pedigree, and we know he's going to get through a wet track. So 59 kilos is a little bit how you going, but he's a big horse with a long stride. You just drag him out and just grind down the straight. I think he wins.
Yeah, I agree.
That's another Quincy.
And I think he's probably better set up for this race than what he was last year. I think his form is actually a lot better. And very similar to, say, Arcora. He's improved with each run this prep. So he's been beaten 6 lengths over 2,000 metres, jumped up to the 2,500, beaten 3.5, got on soft 7 in the Geelong Cup, beaten a length, going back down to the 2,400. I think he's well in here, Berkeley Square. And I think, as we said last year for him, if he doesn't win this, then never again. So, Berkeley Square on top at $7.50. Maybe we'll have our first ever Ned's Same Race multi for the pot this weekend.
Maybe.
Top 4? That pays something.
Yeah, that'll pay something.
All right. The Champion Sprint, 1,200 metres, Way for Age. Speed will be Tropicus and Libertad, I reckon, going forward here. So from inside draws, Flying for Fun will probably be positive, and Magic Time can be positive as well if she so chooses. What do you do with Tentaurus here? I don't think they run him, sure.
I don't think they're going to run him. Sam Friedman came out and said, hey, if we get a heavy deck, I've got no qualms scratching this horse. And, rightly so.
Yeah, mate, he's a $30 million colt.
Yeah.
So...
Rightly so. He could absolutely love it.
Maybe.
But I just don't think it's worth taking that risk on the quick backup.
No way.
But if by some miracle we're on a soft 5, then he's my horse for sure.
Absolutely.
He's got a different setup here though. Like the Coolmore was run to suit, and Mark got some luck on him. Don't get me wrong, he was the best horse and he deserved to win. But they went pretty hard up front, and him down the straight as a back marker. Mark took some tight gaps. He just exploded. Whether we'll see that again here, I'm not sure. But we also could see a horse who maybe hasn't even gotten to his top.
Yeah.
This wasn't his grand final. Absolutely not. But, we've seen horses put together 2 or 3 runs in a row that are peak within a short period of time. Plenty of times before, particularly sprinters, I feel. So, I'm happy to back him if it's not a shitty deck, but outside of that, I've actually found it pretty tough.
Absolutely, and I think there's the horse who's probably here on his grand final is Giga Kick. Now he was dynamic first up. He was back. Trialled since just as a tick over. He's 4 from 7 on soft ground. He's around second on a heavy deck. That was behind I Wish I Wins TJ on a heavy 9, so I think he gets through it. I don't think he loves it. And I'd have to remind myself if he's seen properly rain-affected ground since his injury. Mate, I think the absolute swimmer in this field who's been completely forgotten about in the market is Magic Time.
Yeah.
And she was really good first up. She was not even that bad first up. She got an Everest run after a second up run.
Yeah. Yeah, she was good.
On a good 3, which I'm convinced she doesn't like those rock-hard decks. She was behind Charmstone, Barracuda there. You could say that form hasn't necessarily held up. Sure, she finished last in the Everest, but only beaten 4 lengths. Like, she's a different horse on heavy ground if it gets that way.
She is, absolutely. I think the only other one who I'm more than happy to see on a wet track is Tropicus. Like, he's probably not a genuine Group 1 horse, but he'll definitely be leading, and I don't think there's going to be too much to bother him up front down the Flemington Straight. And if he gets a really soft deck, then it could be a race he just steals. And then you got Jolly Star. But I feel like Jolly Star would prefer to be on top of the ground, maybe.
Well, looking through her profile, she's never been on worse than soft 5. So if it's worse than that, I don't even know if she runs. Maybe they take her to Ascot or something. I don't know. I thought it was really tough if you're going outside the favourite, but I'm convinced the favourite won't even be here. So I think at a 1x3, I think Magic Time's the play. The Champions Mile, Group 1, over the 1,600 metres. Pride of Jenny will lead up this field.
You reckon?
With probably the likes of Stepati, Mr. B, of course, Pericles, and then in probably the third line, running line here is Treasure of the Moment. Probably again the best setup for the prep.
And it's a shame that it's going to be on what is likely to be a heavy deck because I don't think she enjoys that going. If we were getting in a good 4 or soft 5 with that setup, I would have been really keen to have a good bet. But I'm just not sure about her on a heavy. You're dead right. She finally gets a good sized field with what's going to be a truer pace with plenty of things to take her into the race. And she's drawn perfectly. So when the fields first came out, I was like, if they give me something like, $5 plus for Treasure of the Moment, yeah, that's a healthy bet, which I've gotten, but I'm just afraid of the wet weather. The horse outside of that, who maybe Joe's just finally figured him out to get some consistency, is Chow Wolf with blinkers on. He doesn't mind a wet deck. He's going to get plenty of pace too. He could just explode down the Flemington Straight. I don't think he's ever travelled, has he?
No, and I think if any track's his track, it'd be Flemington.
So I think Chow Wolf as well, he's not one of mine, but he can run a bottler.
And Barrier 7 out of 10 is probably a better place to be.
It is. Pride of Jenny's an interesting one for me. I feel like she can definitely get through the wet, and Flemington's her track. And she could just do the same thing she did last week. But I think the setup for her last week was perfect. Whereas I think there's a few flies in the ointment for her in this race. So if she wins again, so be it. But I feel like I'm too far gone now. I can't dive in now and try and get some money out of Jenny. So she can absolutely win. But I'm happy to take her on. I think I might just have a small bet on Treasure anyway, and just thinking, okay, maybe maybe she actually doesn't mind a soft deck. She's just better on top of the ground. I think we'll know if the price blows out significantly with Treasure if she's going to run well or not.
What about Mr. B?
Love Mr. B. He'll run well. He always does. He loves a heavy deck. For mine, I just think there's probably a couple of others that I'd prefer to back, like Chow Wolf.
Yeah.
I'd probably back Pride of Jenny before I back Mr. Brightside in this race. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. I think, the one I landed on was Cheer Wolf, but I wanted to either be with him or Steffi. But Steffi from Barrier 1, if it is, as I'm predicting it's going to be ARC territory by this stage, probably a little bit unproven. Her best form has probably been on top of the ground, but that was a really great return. Probably just not the level of form reference for a race like this, but I think she's on the up, Steffi.
Yep.
So maybe Pericles can get through the ground as well.
He's
not the worst shout here.
He's not the worst shout, and he's going to get a perfect run.
Yeah, I think it's a really even contest.
Yep.
But Cheerwolf on top. The Champions Stakes, 2,000 metres, Group 1, Wait for Age. Golden Path will be on an island out in front. Attrition taking up the field. Same with Light Infantryman. Very similar to the Cox Plate. Very interesting runner. Is it from Adelaide? This Zambardo? No, from Melbourne.
Yeah, it's been racing in benchmark races.
Bench 78 grader going up to weight for age level.
Mate,
Unbelievable.
and the money's been coming for it. Zimbardo. Mate, I backed it last start. And the start before that, actually, in both those races, it was a shorty, but it was just so much better. This is an enormous step up in grade. He's already had some specking. He's into $14. I think he opened maybe 30s. Yeah. Interesting. Like, if he comes out and wins, it's like, cool, we've got a way for age horse out of nowhere. But this is way too much of a step up. Via Sistina comes out and just wins this.
You reckon?
Oh, yeah. I think so. With the caveat being if it's a super heavy deck. So if it's a super heavy deck, yeah, you might want to look outside of her. But if it's a super heavy deck, I'm just not going to have a bet.
Yeah, true.
If she's $1.70 on race day and it's not pissing down rain, that's $1.70 I'd happily take.
Yep. Oh. You're right about Jai. He just doesn't win when you're on him, does he?
No, mate.
He just, he doesn't. Maybe Ray was looking for further than 1,000 metres.
Mate, I can't remember who it was, but I was reading.
Stokey.
Eek. I was reading something about the Melbourne Cup, and a tipster was sort of talking about their thoughts on the race and so on and so forth. And they were going to land on Valiant King, but they didn't. Do you know why?
Because of Jai.
Because seriously, they were like I know it's just going to need so much luck.
Yeah. Yeah, because his Melbourne Cup winner didn't go past another horse.
Yeah.
He played from start to finish as well. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Kitty Cat Tom. If the rain does avoid him, only beaten 2.5 lengths in the King Charles. He's probably had a more genuine lead up.
Yeah, he probably has.
This would have been his Cox Plate run.
Yeah, true. True. He's probably not over the top like some of these are. I wanted to see more from Tommy this prep. I did.
I think he's getting back to somewhat that.
He does take a while to get going.
Like he was in the Mackay Diva, which is a non-event. He was in the Fiend, which was virtually a non-event, and he finished just behind Attrition, who's run super since.
True.
And then his best run of the prep was in a more genuine King Charles, stepping up to 2,000, which has been his aim this prep. I think he's the only logical danger here at the 2,000 metres to Via Satina, I reckon. That's my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we're done.
That's it.
Last preview podcast of the year.
Yeah, wow.
There you go. Thanks for listening. Tipping comp is up for this weekend again. Who won it last week?
Benjamin Pache, Ben Pace, of Rugby, Iona Celtic, Atmosphere. What else? Second in Portsea, Bloodstock Benny. Took out the tipping comp by 2 points. So congrats to you, Benny. We've already spoken about vouchers and whatnot, but no, he did well because it was to be honest, it was a day where a lot of people did well. He just did slightly better.
Yep. Yeah. I heard he needs it too.
Yeah. Oh, he certainly does. Yeah. He certainly does. Maybe you'll finally be able to afford that. That sixth horse or whatever it is.
Congratulations, Benny Pace. But yeah, again for this weekend, another $500 voucher you're choosing up for grabs. Enter our link in bio. If you've entered previously, you'll get you know the deal by now. We also have our last hosted pod of the year, I believe, with the good people at Ned's.
Let's square the ledger.
Yeah, we're not far off, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have a very similar strategy to last week, I reckon, because it looks like a intimate pot this week.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what? I think there's less pressure that way.
Yeah.
So that's completely fine. But yeah, thanks for listening, Drifters. We'll do the review podcast on Sunday. But yeah, been a good cup week.
Been fantastic, and long may it continue.
Yeah. All right, hooroo.
See yous.